Alright, I don't know if you can see it real well, but those lights over there in the distance is Panama City. Now, originally our cruise was supposed to stop at Panama City, but that stop has been canceled. Right now we are just hanging out off the coast. We are getting ready to enter the Panama Canal, but before we enter it, we have to go under the Bridge of America. It's a very famous bridge down here in Panama. But to go under that bridge, our ship is so tall, we have to wait for low tide. And so low tide is going to be here in about an hour or two. And then we will go under. And then tomorrow morning, we'll enter the locks, the first set of locks, and start going through the Panama Canal. But right over there, Panama City. So originally we were supposed to go under the Bridge of America between 11 and midnight, but it is actually 1 in the morning right now. And there is the Bridge of America in front of us. So we're standing out on the balcony of our room right now and watching. We're getting a little closer, so it's almost our turn to go out or to go underneath the bridge. Erica's got her phone out. She's taking some video and some pictures here because this is a famous bridge. There are 3 bridges that span the Panama Canal, and this Bridge of Americas is one of them, and it is on the Pacific entrance to the Panama Canal. And there it is, right up there. This bridge was built in 1962 at a cost of $20 million. I can't imagine how much it would cost to build this bridge today. Well, we made it good. We made it through. It's a good thing we waited till low tide because it looked like it was pretty close up there. Those water slides barely scraped under. After we went under the Bridge of America, we entered the port area of Panama City, Panama. So this is all their port area over here. All right, after going underneath the Bridge of Americas, we got a little bit of sleep last night, and now it's early morning. We're back up on the balcony watching these tugboats and things as they go by and just kind of seeing this landscape along the Panama Canal. We have to wait our turn to get into the locks, but the first set of locks that we come to are the Cocoli Locks, and these are the first set of the new Panamax ship locks that are located on the Pacific side of the Panama Canal. And as we go through the canal, our ship has an expert telling us about this journey.
There are no pumps in the Panama Canal. Water for canal operations is moved by gravity.
You can see a huge container ship in the locks just ahead of our ship. And so in 2016, these new locks were finished. The old locks couldn't handle the new ships that are being built and how big they are in the size. And so they built these new locks to accommodate bigger ships. We are being raised 85 feet from sea level from the Pacific Ocean up to the level of Gatun Lake and the Panama Canal. This is just a little shot where you can see how close our cruise ship is from the edge of the Panama Canal. There's not much room for air. All ships that go through the Panama Canal are secured to these tugboats, and these tugboats keep the large ship in the right position so they don't kind of hit the walls or the sides of the Panama Canal. This was a fascinating process, and it's amazing that these little tugboats can control a whole large ship. These are just some of the buildings and the infrastructure that has been built up around the locks. And again, you can see how close our ship is to the edge of the locks here. Apparently someone on our cruise is having a medical emergency, and these first responders are coming and putting up a ramp right now and going to get this person off the boat and take them by ambulance into Panama City. All right, this probably shouldn't be funny, but they put the ramp up wrong, and so now they are repositioning it. And this has been kind of fascinating to watch. I just hope whoever is needing medical attention is not needing it real quickly. I think this time's for real. Yep, the Gertie's getting ready to move. It took them a while, but they were finally able to get the patient off the boat. Believe it or not, this was not the only patient that had to be medically evacuated as we were going through the locks. Here's a view of some of the infrastructure that's on the other side of the locks, and you can see they have this thing that almost looks like an air traffic control tower up there in the distance. The new Panama Canal locks use a series of water-saving basins to fill and empty the large lock chambers to lift and lower ships. And this is all done with gravity. There are no pumps. While I was out on the observation deck watching us go through the locks with the other guest, Erica was just in our stateroom watching it on the TV. Well, we made it through the first set of locks here at the Panama Canal, and the canal is about 40 miles from shoreline to shoreline, and so we're going to sit back and enjoy the view along the Panama Canal. We've made it to the second bridge that we're going to go under on the Panama Canal, and this is the Centennial Bridge. So we went through the first set of locks, the Cocoli Locks. We just went under this other bridge. And now we are in the actual canal. So we are in the Panama Canal right now. This is a man-made canal started by the French, but they couldn't get it done, so it was finished by the United States of America. And this is the Panama Canal. On this side you can see the actual earth that they had kind of dug out. They left these ridges in it as they were digging the Panama Canal, and that goes all the way down to that bridge. And apparently they had to use a lot of dynamite to dig this out. A lot of people's lives were lost because of accidents and mosquitoes and snakes and everything in this jungle of Panama. But here are the walls of the Panama Canal. Here's some more of the walls and terraces that they had to dig out to make the Panama Canal. Huge engineering feat. On the observation decks where you're watching the Panama Canal, they have the ship has coffee and tea and hot chocolate stations set up, little muffins and things too, so they've got us covered. This is a huge hill with terraces that they had to carve out to make the Panama Canal. And there's the canal. And on this side, just some views of the jungle of Panama. So I had to clear out all this jungle before they could even start digging and causing explosions and everything to make the canal. So as we are going down the Panama Canal, we can see in the distance they are still doing some work to the shore. Looks like they're digging out some more terraces. And again, just some more video of the Panama, the jungle. We'll just call it the jungle of Panama. It's very green here. It is a tropical climate. I guess that's why it's so green. Up in the trees, the jungles over there, they have a couple little towers. And another beautiful day. Sky is just blue with just a few clouds. Perfect day to go through the Panama Canal. Here's another little channel or tributary that leads out of the Panama Canal, but that is not the Panama Canal, but these little boats can go up there. Those are some little sightseeing boats. Those people are all waving, yelling hi. Little train track there. Little bridge for the train that goes over the water. And out in the distance, all that land there is actually a national park. Looks like a little industrial area here along the Panama Canal. Here's several of the tugboats that are used to help guide the ships through the Panama Canal. Those are all docked there in this little industrial area. So on our journey, we are going from the Pacific to the Atlantic side, but there are other ships like this one that have went from the Atlantic and are heading to the Pacific side. And here's another ship that we're passing. The canal is starting to get a lot wider because we are entering Gatun Lake. That is a man-made lake that is a really wide part of the Panama Canal. So we're going to be entering that here in just a little bit. Alright, we are getting ready to enter the second lock system of the day. This lock system will take us from Gatun Lake in the Panama Canal, which was that man-made lake we were talking about earlier. At the time it was made, it was the largest man-made lake in the world. It has since been surpassed. But these locks will take us out of the Panama Canal system and back into the Atlantic Ocean. Well, not back into it, into the Atlantic Ocean. We came from the Pacific, and now we will be going into the Atlantic Ocean. So we're getting ready to go through this second lock system. Let's take a look. There are the water basins right behind those buildings that are used to fill the locks and lower the locks. That's where the water goes when the locks are lowered, and then the water comes out of these into the locks to fill them. So those are the basins that the water is stored in until it's used. So these new locks on the Atlantic side are called the Agua Clara Locks. And as you can see, as we're getting ready to go through these locks, there's already a big group of people out on the bridge getting ready to take a look and see as we go through the locks. Here's a little time lapse of us sailing in and getting close to the lock here, and then as the lock gets ready to move, you can hear the alarm going off. Here is a time lapse of the water going down. You can see it going down, so our ship is being lowered down right now to the level of the Atlantic Ocean, and then once the water gets lowered enough, then the lock will open. The whole process for the water to fill or empty a single lock chamber takes about 10 to 12 minutes. But once the lock is opened, our ship moves through and heads into the next lock. We have to be lowered one more time before we can reach the Atlantic Ocean. Here you can see just how many people are up on the deck watching this process of us going through the locks, and everyone's got their phones out trying to get some good pictures and videos of going through the Panama Canal. Once we got in the very last lock, I went up to the observation deck on the 15th floor on the back of the ship, and this is the view of the locks from behind. And just like that, we've officially crossed from the Pacific Ocean to the Atlantic Ocean through one of the greatest engineering marvels on Earth, the Panama Canal. And what an incredible and unforgettable journey. From the moment our ship entered the first set of locks to drifting across Gatun Lake and finally passing beneath the Atlantic Bridge, we felt the scale of history of this place at every turn. Sailing through the canal isn't just traveling, it's experiencing over a century of human innovation, determination, and global connection. And doing it on board the Norwegian Joy made it even more special. If you've enjoyed coming with us on this incredible transit, please do me a huge favor. Hit that like button, leave a comment, and of course, subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel grow and lets me keep bringing you more travel adventures from around the world. Thanks for watching. See you next time.